Hello everybody and welcome along to qualifying for the BUBBA Burger Sports Car Grand Prix of Long Beach, live in sound and vision across the world as IMSA TV and radio are together now from the fabulous sights of the marina right behind our IMSA broadcast booth and the beach which will be used for parking for the Grand Prix, Sports Car Grand Prix tomorrow. We're on the west coast of America, just down from the port of Los Angeles in Long Beach. Very traditional street track here, been going for very many years, and of course was a Formula One venue earlier in its life. 11 corners, the fountain and the hairpin, probably two of the best known here. Tricky action areas at turn 9 and at turn 8, either end of the back straight, and also at the end of Shoreline Drive, the braking area into turn 1. Keep an eye out for all of the action that goes on there. Jeremy Shaw's alongside me, John Hindhaugh. Shea Adam is our Continental Tire pit lane reporter, and we're ready to go qualifying. We've had 2 hours and 45 minutes of free practice spread over 2 sessions, 2 hours very early this morning. 45 minutes has just been completed, Jeremy, and the answer to the question of what have we found out is, well, pretty much anybody in the top 4 or 5 of each of the categories could take pole position, I reckon.
That's true, with the top 3 cars in this recently concluded session covered by, I think it was 17 thousandths of a second, i.e. nothing, and really, really close. Acura and Cadillac right at the front. Mazda's didn't quite show as well as they had this morning in the most recent practice session, but I'm sure they're going to be there as this weekend progresses. And the Nissans too. That was a very fast car here last year. We finished in 2nd place, set the fastest lap of the race 1 year ago with Ryan Diel at the wheel of one of those Nissans. So I'd expect them to be challenging for the win as well. But in GTLM, well, this morning, it was Ford. There didn't seem to be much between Ford and Porsche this morning, and then we get to the session again just a few minutes ago, and it was a Chevy that jumped up at the front there with Oliver Gavin. So yeah, all bets are off there for me in GTLM. Those will be the cars out first for their 15 minutes of flame in qualifying in just around about 3 minutes time from now.
Shea Adam is down looking at the GT Le Mans field, a pit lane that has a little more working space than we might have had here in the past with just 22 cars. How are preparations going for the GTLM qualifying, Shea?
I'm quite amused, John, because normally when we have a practice session that leads right into a qualifying, drivers just stay in their cars, and very few have elected to do that. In GTLM, our qualifiers, as we heard a little bit earlier on, Richard Westbrook will be piloting the 67. He did stay in the Ford, but his teammate, Joey Hand, who's going to be driving the 66, he got out, he went up, he sat on the prop perch, he got comfy, is what Joey does, and now he's waving at me from just over the pit wall, so he will be getting into the 66, but he decided to take a breather. In the 911 Porsche, Patrick Pilet had gotten out of the car. He did not take his helmet off, though, as he went over to the pit wall to have a brief conversation with the engineers. His teammate, Lawrence Vantor, stayed in the 912. That Porsche would be very amusing to get pole. It's been fast all weekend, and the jokes have been endless for Lawrence, who would rather stay on his wheels than his roof. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just check Google. For the BMWs, we have the 24 BMW, which will be piloted by John Edwards, but John currently nowhere near the car, and nobody is near the 25, but this will get a lot of people excited around the track. Connor DeFilippi, the local boy who got his first win with the BMW logo over his heart, will be given qualifying duties at home, so that's pretty cool for him, and his family will be cheering him on. And then for the Corvettes, well, those two were empty. We now have Oliver Gavin behind the wheel of the Ford, so he is still hogging up all that time. Tommy Milner's okay with it, though. He's sitting up in his jeans relaxing, so it's up to Ollie. He only has 1 pole position in this series, and that came at Daytona a few years back. And a guy who knows how to get pole here, he's done it twice before, 2014 and 2017. Jan Magnussen is in the 3.
Jan Magnussen in the form of his life at the moment. Ollie Gavin, Yardley Hastings' fastest sports car driver, as we always say. So I'm rather damning him with faint praise if you've ever been to Yardley Hastings in Northamptonshire. It's got about 6 houses in it. Actually, probably a few more than that, but not that many. And Connor DeFilippi, interesting story there. This time last week he was at the Nürburgring racing on the Nürburgring Nordschleife. In fact, he would have been getting, he He'd been in bed at this time last week, but getting ready for a Saturday race. Joey Hand by the Ford, helmeted, suited and booted and ready to go. And Conor De Filippi, along with his BMW teammate Jesse Krohn, taking the win in VLN2 4-hour race for BMW with the GT3 car, but here in the GT Le Mans version of the brand new M8 Coupe. We're green and both of the vets have gone out. Jan Magnussen and Ollie Gavin head out onto the circuit before anyone else. Afternoon sunshine, shadows lengthening, wind blowing pretty much into the faces of the drivers and the cars as they head down towards turn 1. 15 minutes on the clock. A quick fire qualifying session for round 3 of the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. The Bubba Burger Sports Car Grand Prix at Long Beach. Live on IMSA Radio and IMSA TV. The unmistakable rumble of America's sports car, the Corvette, down towards turn number 8 on its outlap, warming up the Michelin tyres. All Michelin in the GT Le Mans category, although it's an open tyre formula, but everyone using the Michelin tyre, not all on the same compound or construction. There are different ones available for the different manufacturers. They work very close together with the 4 different manufacturers in this category. Through goes Jan Magnussen to start his first lap, and he was very, very quick indeed in the 3rd sector, bringing the tyres up to temperature and pressure. There goes Ollie Gavin through to start his lap. The 2 Corvettes with clear track ahead of them and a nice space between them as well, Jeremy. They're not hassling each other.
No, they're not, and that was the team that was on pole here last season with Jan Magnussen aboard that car number 3, and 1 minute 16.909 was the pole time, a new record for GTLM 1 year ago. And talking to Michelin, by the way, great to see Ken Payne back here yesterday for the RBC dinner last night, having missed Sebring for the first time in many, many years. He had a bit of a health scare a couple of weeks before that, so welcome back, Ken. Great to see you here. As you say, John, the Michelin engineers work super hard, and each of them works with the different manufacturers independently. They all have their own engineers from Michelin with each of the teams, so they don't share information amongst themselves. There's a lot of information does go back to Michelin.
Magnussen coming to the end of his first flying lap, 129.8 miles an hour through the trap speed, 130.3 for Ollie Gavin. The 2 bright yellow Corvettes were first out of the pit lane. This is the end of their first flying lap. Here comes the Englishman as Magnussen goes through 120.095. So the Dane first to set the lap time. Here comes Ollie Gavin now. He's right on time with his teammate. In fact, he's a bit quicker, but he goes under the 120, 119.8 for the number 4 of Ollie Gavin. Will that be enough for pole position? I'm not sure it will be.
No. We'll come down. That was the first flying lap, so it'll be, I'd imagine maybe like 5 or 6.
Really?
4 or 5. Yeah, I think so. It's a fairly short lap around here, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be fewer laps. Certainly won't be. I don't think it'll be the first flying lap, but it'll be fairly soon in the life span. That is for certain.
Vantour at 18.2 on his first flyer, and his teammate dropping away to make sure that he had space. Patrick Pilet yet to complete his outlap. There he goes now. And Ollie Gavin has lost his time once again for a violation of track limits.
As you were saying, it must have done half a dozen times in the previous practice. Is he just not paying attention?
Well, surely the guys are on the phone to him and saying, Ollie, you're getting a track violation. They'll be telling him where it is. We're assuming that this is at the end, either at the end of Shoreline Drive into turn 1, he's dropping his wheels into the pit lane exit, or perhaps at turn 5 or 9. Those are the only 2 places that you can really have a trackside violation without hitting the wall rather hard.
Yeah.
Vantour then, fastest at the moment, an 18.2. 10 minutes to go. Through goes Vantour, 17.6. So 6/10 found in that lap by Lawrence Vantour, still the quickest. Ollie Gavin improved and is going quicker. He's down to an 18.2 and he's already a 10th quicker than his best in the first sector of his third lap. His second flyer that's going to count, of course.
17.571 he did in the pre-qualifying practice session just a few minutes ago. Oliver Gavin in car number 4 on a good lap again now, but it's been eclipsed by Lawrence Vantor in the first sector by a full 0.3 of a second.
Magnussen looking good as well. Ollie Gavin looking good. This is a proper battle on the street, a street fight here at Long Beach for pole position for the GTLMs. Magnussen up to second, 17.7, doesn't go at the top, 0.054 of a second away from Vantur. That's 17.6, looking good, and he's looking even better now. The 912 Porsche coming into the final sector, heading towards the right-handed hairpin, and this is going to be an improvement for Vantur. It is a 17.674, but Joy Hand goes through in a 17.641. Just 0.087 of a second, Jeremy, between the top 4. Less than a 10th between the top 4.
Between the top 4, that was 2 seconds ago, because that's now changed. Lawrence Vantor again, 117.013 for the Belgian there in car number 912, the Porsche. Lawrence Vantor, 117.013, and that is just about a 10th of a second away from the outside of that record set last year by Jan Magnussen, 16.9, so significantly faster in this session than they have been so far today.
The cars will be running with less fuel.
Yes.
They'll have tweaked what they can, but remember, at the end of this session, in 8 minutes' time, these cars go back to the trailer and they do not run again until the formation lap before the Bubba Burger Grand Prix tomorrow. There's no morning warm-up. So these guys, if there's any damage now as they're trying to snatch pole position away from Laurent Vantur, there's no setup time in the morning. They really have to put it on the line. And as Lena Gade would say, who is engineering for Peterson Motorsport this weekend, of course, in her new role as an IndyCar engineer, she would say push without risk, lads.
So it's always a risk around here, isn't it? Joey Hand improves again, by the way, goes purple in sector 2.
Oh, hello.
But he's still over 4/10 away from Lawrence Vantor time. So 117.468 for Joey Hand, second fastest in car number 66. And for Porsche, John, pretty much a home race with the Porsche Motorsport North America based in Carson. Just 15 minutes away from here?
Depending on traffic.
Well,
15
yeah,
minutes or an hour. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. The 911, Patrick Pilet getting a lap taken away from him as well. Now, have the tyres done their best? Ollie Gavin's still on a good time. Patrick Pilet has just done his best final sector, but he's got to keep it clean. Now, the Porsche Experience Centre up at Carson was there on Wednesday night for the Circle Porsche Long Beach event. Thoroughly enjoyed that. All the works drivers and in fact all the World Challenge drivers were there as well. Really cool place to go. Oh, big slide by the Ford coming through the final sector, and Joey Hand just losing grip at the vital moment through the penultimate corner, and the car wasn't just a flat side, the back just trying to overtake the front, oversteer or loose rather, comes across the line. What did it cost him? It cost him, my goodness, it cost him a good second and a half.
Another really good lap for Lawrence Vantor in number 912. It wasn't better than his best lapping, but it was a 117.118 against his 117.013. And still that lap is more than 3/10 quicker than anybody else has managed so far.
And he got a
in sector 3 as well.
Yes, he got a good run to the start-finish line in that final sector. Yep. So that means he'll be quick across the start-finish line. He'll be fast into turn 1, already at turn 5, goes right out to the wall on the left-hand side, almost grazes it with the Michelin in the back. That's absolutely inch perfect.
Magnificent, and again, purple in sector 1 now for Lawrence Vantor. This is a great lap.
He's hustling. He's hustling. You can see the way, the body language of the 912 through turn 8. How close to the wall? About as close as you want to be to that concrete now. Down the back straight, in shadow down there for the most part now. Now back into the sunshine. Through turn 9. Gets a bit of a slide on there with the rear Michelin's crying enough. But a nice tight line. Lovely tight line. And rotates the car. No, right at the end. I was about to say rotates the car on the throttle, but just got the back end a little too far. He was quick there, Jeremy. There was a 17 flat for my money on there.
No, I think it was a sub-record lap going there, but he just tried to carry a bit too much speed into the hairpin, threw it all sideways there, and just lost a huge amount of grip in the middle of the corner. Just wasn't able to carry the momentum onto the front straight.
Turn 6, the 25 of Connor De Felipe has run on. No harm, no foul. He spun the car around the BMW 25 we're talking about here. 67 has a lap taken away. Car 4 again, Ollie Gavin.
It's extraordinary.
Well, we have to find out where this is. We were speculating that it was running into the pit lane exit the turn on the run to turn 1. We'll get a word with the guys at Corvette and see where that was.
Porsche 1-2, Patrick Pilet, number 911 car, has gone up into second place. That's another good lap here, by the way, by Lawrence Vantour. I know, okay, so the first sector was extremely good. It was 2/10 quicker than anybody else had managed. It wasn't his best, but it was 2/10 quicker than anybody else. But the second sector, he's lost some time there, Vantour. So
Ollie Gavin goes up. Oh, sorry, Jeremy. Ollie Gavin goes up to the inside of row 2 with a 17.4 personal bests in sectors 1 and 3. Let's hope he keeps that one. Joey Hand close to improving, but not quite in the first of the Ford. So it's Porsche, Corvette, Ford, BMW, and Connor De Felipe in the pits. Calls time, 3.5 minutes to go. My, the Porsches look hooked up round here. Here's Pilet through the final corner, right out to the left-hand side wall. As he comes out of the hairpin, screams past over flat 6, sounding absolutely glorious in the afternoon sunshine. And stops at 17.2.
Yeah, it is an improvement.
By another, half a tenth or so.
Yeah, but he's losing he's 0.254 slower than Vantour on the lap, and virtually all of that is in the first sector.
BMW into the wall. Now, I wonder if that was Felipe, and that's why he's in the pit lane. Richard Westbrook in the 67 Ford. He'll not be happy with 6th position. You know, he's only half a second. Only half a second away from pole.
It's a surprise, isn't it? Yeah, it's tight. All of those cars.
Another lap gone for Ollie Gavin, and that's put him back down. As Joy Hand improves, but lap 8 gone for Ollie Gavin. That's another lap he's gone. He must have had 10 or a dozen now in the final practice session, and here in the last 15 minutes of qualifying that have gone away. 25, Connor De Felipe with a scrape on the wall, but no other damage, I'm hearing. 67, Westbrook had his last lap invalidated as well. That won't make any difference, he's still in 6th position. Patrick Pilet improves at 1:17.2 when he gets a great run onto the start. Finish time 22.7 in the final sector.
But his first sector time, it's about 0.4 of a second away from Lawrence Vantour. It's just that first sector that Lawrence Vantour is absolutely unbelievable. He's done it again on this lap too. 25.0 for Lawrence Vantour on this lap that he's on right now against that 25.4 for Patrick Pilet just in the first sector, the first 4 corners.
Joey Hand with a chance of splitting the Porsches in the number 66 Chip Ganassi Ford as he comes to the line. Can he split the 912 and 911 and get on the front row? It's going to be very close indeed. Needs to find less than 1/10 of a second, and does do. He's gone up to second place. He's on the outside of the front row. That spoiled the Porsche party, but there's still 65 seconds to go.
Yeah, the number 912 car is onto the pit lane, so Lawrence Vantour didn't complete that another extremely good lap. I mean, like I say, his first sector on this lap recorded in the pits was a full 2/10 quicker than the second and third place car.
And he's only got 2/10 between him and the rest of the field, so that's all in the first sector.
It is, and Gavin's got one more chance now. He's just gone blue, personal best in sector 1. If we can keep it together now, maybe he can get that car back, because he's fallen all the way down now to 6th position in car number 4.
Magnussen looking, I don't think he can improve. He's going to have a really stunning third sector. Joey Hand looking good as well. Oh, 28.993. That's quick in sector 2. Not the best, but that's very good indeed. And Joey Hand here needs to find 0.2 of a second. I'm not sure he can do that, but will he cement his second position here? Checkered flag will be out when he comes to the line,
Good
I
run
think.
through the hairpin, John.
Great run through the hairpin. Checkered flag is out for Ollie Gavin. And no, it's Paul. Paul for the Ford. Joey Hand has pulled out a stunning final sector, and a 1:16.8 is the qualifying record. Joey Hand with no time. Well, wait a minute. Patrick Peely ahead on the clock, the 911 in third position at the moment.
But not in second sector, because Joey Hand was 3.5 tenths quicker than him in the second sector. Yes, Peely was a tenth quicker in the first, but still not matching Lawrence Vanthoor in the number 912 car, but I don't think that's going to be enough for Patrick Peely.
There's a 16.5 in there if you put all the sectors together, isn't there?
I tell you what, that Ford was...
Peely's in the pits. Peely's in the pits. He's aborted the lap.
Yeah, the Ford, it carried so much speed through the hairpin. That was noticeable. I mean, visibly faster through the hairpin for Joey. Had a great lap by the Californian.
And Jan Magnussen, the only other car out there at the moment, but he's not on a lap that will challenge the leader. No, he's pitted as well.
Yeah.
It's Hand on pole here on the streets of Long Beach, and the 66 Ford, which has been ever so good here. Fifth pole.
Will be thrilled.
Yes, that was great, and 10 laps completed by the first two cars, 11 by the next three. They really worked the Michelin tyres, and what a compliment to Michelin that they could keep the tyre underneath those cars in full out, turned up to 11, no nonsense, mindless boogie, full on competition all the way through that 15-minute, well, in fact, actually, let's call that 16.5-minute session, because that's how long they were out there. Perfectly timed from Joey Hand, no time for the Porsches to respond.
Yeah, I mean, that car getting lighter, of course, as it burns off the fuel load, but it does say a heck of a lot about those Michelin tyres to be still as good as they are at that stage.
Proper old-fashioned qualifying, Germany. Put a set of tyres on, put fuel into the end.
Just enough to get you to the end.
Correct. And as the tyres come up to temperature and the fuel burns off, you should get quicker and quicker and quicker. Exactly what we want to see. Adam, so go ahead before we go down.
Very, very quickly. So then pole for Joey Hand and a new lap record for GTLM.
And just the hands in the air for Joey Hand, and what a fantastic time to do it. Off come the Sparkle gloves, the helmet and the hands device is still on, and Shea Adam is just waiting patiently for the photographers to do their thing, as we've been asked to do by IMSA, and he's savouring every moment of this shit.
He is, and he nailed it. That was a good one. Oh, as the pass wasn't quite as good, to give him a hat for the celebration. Joey, you looked comfy when you were standing over there with your helmet on, ready to go. That was one heck of a lap.
I was comfy standing right there. I was comfy standing right there. It wasn't as comfy out there. I'll tell you, this place it'll get you uncomfortable really quick. These guys, I don't know if you saw it, they made some changes right up to the last minute qualifying. We've been throwing stuff at it. I mean, this place, you just don't have a lot of time, so you gotta keep tuning and tuning. I got the best team right here behind me, Chip Ganassi Racing, Ford, and all the guys. Man, oh man, we threw something at it and it worked. It took to the last lap, and it took a really clean lap. I didn't get a good one until right then, and low fuel, and that was the time to do it. But just so I'm really happy. I love Long Beach. I love being on the pole. I love being with this team. Such a great team. My family's here, my wife, my kids, and some friends. So it's just a really fun place to be. Look, there's boats right there. Come on. How cool is that?
Yeah, Bill Oberlin's probably out there on his boat.
Right there. Hey, Bill.
You had a super quick third sector. Is that where we're going to see most of the passing done for the Ford?
God, I don't even know what happened there. I was just throwing down as hard as I could. I knew that I was good down there on the laps that I had put myself up to third and fourth and all that. That was kind of satisfying, but down here I had lost it. Somebody had put some sand, or it was weird. It was like sand in turn 10. Then you had to be really tight. So I knew it was down there, but I didn't get both ends done at the same time. And then that last lap, I got this one pretty clean. I was happy with that, and I knew what I'd learned down here enough to know I need to get it right. So yeah, it's fun when it comes down like that. That's what racing's all about. It's supposed to be a show. I hope the fans love it. I hope everybody watching on TV loves it. I had a good time.
Fifth career pole for you. We'll look for a lot more in the future. Congrats.
Thanks, Shay.
Yeah, he'll take it all right. That is a great pole position. Every pole position's good. Every pole position you love having. But my goodness, he had to work for that, and he worked hard, and it was a team effort. You heard him saying there, Jeremy. He wasn't in the car. Shea was reporting that just before we went green. He was standing waiting, and that was because the guys were still doing work right up to the green flag. And that car came good right at the end on its lightest fuel load. Perfect timing. How Chip Ganassi was that?
Yeah, absolutely perfect. A really, really great effort there by Joey Hand, a California native, of course. And yeah, with families, everybody here to support him, he delivered. And he will start from the pole position in tomorrow's race. That is the best position to be for the start of this race, and he'll be hoping to keep it there for another 100 lap, for 100 minutes.
I've got a strong suspicion that Porsche, and particularly Lawrence Vantour, didn't think that that was on there, came in with time left on the clock, maybe realised there wasn't as much life left in his Michelin tyres. A tenth and a half at the end. 66 will start on pole position in GTLM. On the outside of the front row, it'll be the 912 Porsche. Inside of row 2, the 911 Porsche. Patrick Pilet with a time of 1 minute 17.263. And the first 2 rows made up by Jan Magnussen. So 3 different manufacturers in the first 4, with the Chevy Corvette number 3 still less than half a second away from pole position. So we're talking very fine margins indeed. The green flag has gone out with the usual IMSA efficiency on the second qualifying session, and well, we had 2 GTs went out at the start, the 2 Corvettes. Everybody's gone out apart from the 85 Orica, which had problems at the end of the last session. Remember, it's ground to a halt in the, and it never made it back to its pit box, that car. So it may be that we won't see the 85 Orica, but everyone else out on the circuit. 13 minutes to go as the fast laps start for the prototype category. Jeremy.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. I'm absolutely sure we're going to see another lap record here. The shadows are lengthening for much of the track now. The actual track temperature is significantly cooler with the shadows here, and so I would expect some really, really fast lap times. Who's going to be on the pole? I don't know. I fancy probably one of the Acuras, but I think this is going to be a really exciting session because some of these other guys, the Cadillacs, but maybe the Mazdas too, they're on home turf here. We talked about Porsche being on home turf with their base in Castle, a few miles away. Well, for Mazda too, Mazda North America operations, they're based down in Irvine. That's only a 20-25-minute drive as well. So they are looking to feed the family, so to speak, here this weekend. Whoops, big slide.
Big slide for the 31. Philippe Nasser in that car. Now I expected that to be Eric Curran, so Nasser.
And again,
so
track position there, maybe that's the key there, because Philippe Nasser is certainly a little bit quicker than Eric Curran, generally speaking. Eric does a good job.
Yeah, 19.1 for Philippe, but immediately usurped by an 18.6 for Joao Barbosa in the 5 Cadillac. The qualifying record is what here, Jeremy?
It is a 1 minute 13.549, average speed 96.328 miles an hour. Last year, Ricky Taylor.
Now, expect to see these guys stay out for the whole 15 minutes as well. We've learned anything in the tenure of Continental tyres in the IMSA paddocks is that their tyres are extremely durable in qualifying situations as well. And these cars will be fueled to do the full 15 minutes and expect to see the times tumble. Get a couple of laps under your belt, get the heat cycle through. Philippe Nasser actually still waving the car, weaving the car around on the back straight. Just, I think, because he went offline for a moment, not actually to try and get temperature in the tyre, just to clean them up. Here come the Acuras. Helio Castroneves, 1:15.4 for his first flyer. Castroneves is in the groove and in the mood.
Look, that's all about experience around here. He's got a lot of laps around here, Helio Castroneves. He's raced here in Indy Lights. He's raced here for many, many years in the Indy cars. So he knows, and in qualifying the Indy cars, it's all about getting it done right now, so to speak. And that is exactly what he is doing at the wheel of car number 7 for Acura Team Penske.
Through turn number 6, through the King at 7, and the downhill to turn number 8.
And talked about it being home track for Mazda, also for HBD, of course, as well. And Honda, they're based in Honda North America is based in in Torrance, just, well, 10 minutes away from the track, or 15 perhaps.
HBT still down at Santa Clarita.
Santa Clarita, which is about, what, an hour or so just the other side of LA.
Castro Neves.
He is on the limit.
He really is. A 15.4 last time around, 16.3 for Johannes van Overbeek, but there's going to be a sub-15 here. Across the line comes the very distinctive Acura and stops the clock at 13.9. That's on his second flying lap, and he's absolutely flying, as is Tristan Nunez with a 14.8 on his second flying lap, but he's 9/10 of a second away from provisional pole.
Felipe Nasr's on a good lap. He was purple in the middle sector, but in the first sector he lost 4/10 to Elio Castro-Neves. He comes across the line now. Purple also in sector
like
3, but he's 0.163 seconds behind Castro-Neves. Felipe Nasr coming with 31 up into second place.
Yeah, but he's given Castro-Neves at least a run for his money, just a 10th and a half away. Tristan Nunez still 9/10 away, but now in fourth as Joao Barbosa in the number 5 Cadillac has gone through in third position. 39 for the number 7 Elio Castro-Neves in the Acura for Roger Penske's team. Philippe Nasr in the 31 for Action Express. The two teammates 31 and 5, second and third with Joao Barbosa, 14 flat and 14.6 for those two cars. Castro-Neves is going to do a 13 and a half here if he gets no traffic towards the end. The lap record's going to be obliterated here. Obliterated. Extraordinary driving by Elio.
Yeah, by 2/10 of a second, 1:13.346. Therefore, Elio Castro-Neves with 2/10 inside Ricky Taylor's lap record from 1 year ago.
I thought he would get a 13 and a half, but a 13.3. This is
well.
Montoya
said I
goes to
could
second.
do that. Not quite, but well, Pablo Montoya there just a 10th and a half, so 13.4. Also sub-record then for Juan Pablo Montoya coming to second.
And was nearly 2/10 quicker than Elio in the final sector. Yeah. So Elio on another quick lap. We're going to see a 12. We're going to see a 1 minute 12 by a sports car round the Long Beach Grand Prix circuit. 24 flat for both of the Acuras, Castro-Neves and Montoya. They might as well be standing in a boxing ring, just hitting each other around the head at the moment. This is extraordinary stuff. And they've really dialed these Acuras in. This is qualifying. This is all about track position for the Bubba Burger Sports Car Grand Prix on the streets of Long Beach. Round 3 of the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. Halfway through the session. 13.346, 13.499, and Montoya is going to go to the top. Montoya is going to go to the top on this lap. There's no improvement from Castro-Neves. Here comes Montoya. Does he pip his teammate? He only has to find a 10th and a half. Philippe Nasr is going well as well in the 31 Cadillac, and there it is, a 13 flat. Oh, just didn't get the 12, but Nasr is on a good time as well. He might sneak onto the front row here. No, he doesn't. 13.517. He's missed out by just a couple of tenths. Top 3 within half a second, and then half a second to the rest of the field at the moment, Jeremy.
Yes, I thought it was going to be between Acura and Cadillac, but the Mountains were in 5th and 6th. They're just a second off the ultimate race, 14.1, but Tristan Nunez in car number 77. 14.3 for Harry Tinknell in car number 55.
Calmerson, the fastest of the P2 cars, the global cars, and a little scrape of the wall by the number 2. Exit at turn 5, yes, just gets a little bit of concrete rash.
Purple again for Juan Pablo Montoya
that was
in sector 2.
And he wasn't too bad in sector 1 either. Hang on, Harry Tinknell's putting a lap together here.
Felipe Nasr too, he's on a great lap as well.
Tinknell could vault himself up into the top couple of rows here in the number 55 Mazda. Maybe just taking a little more time to bring his Continentals up to temperature and pressure.
At least top 4, yes, you're right.
And Tinknell goes up into 4th position outside of the front row with the fastest centre section of anybody. Now that's all about top speed.
Yeah, but he lost pretty much a full half a second of that 7/10 differential between first and second in the final sector. On Pablo Montoya.
Hello, Montoya's on 1.
Well, he's just gone quicker again. He did a 13.066 on that last lap. He's now got purple again in sector 1. This could be into the 12s.
I think we will see at 12. Helio Castro-Neves proving he hasn't retired.
Nasser's lap was a 13.3 last time around.
Castro-Neves for me cooling his tyres on this one. Not that much. Not that much, no. Oh,
busy.
4 cars going across the line right in front of us, and that might just have scuppered Castro-Neves' next lap. Where is Montoya? Oh, big slide from the
Carl Masson getting it all sideways.
38,
there.
yes.
Yes.
12.9, 12.9, and only one sector improved for Juan Pablo Montoya. So there's a 12.7 in there.
Yeah, it's frustrating on that lap for Helio Castro-Neves because he was one of the guys who was held up there by Carl Masson trying to get things back under control and not hit the wall on the exit, which he did a pretty good job, it has to be said, but that certainly cost Helio Castro-Neves a little bit of time.
Juan Montoya with clear track comes out of 5, almost clips the wall, and it's another improvement. Yeah. He's really good in the first sector, Montoya. Now, can he string second and third sectors together? He didn't improve last time around, despite going under 1 minute 13, 72.9 seconds for a lap.
Didn't even use all the track on the exit there of turn 8, just carrying tremendous speed onto Seaside Way.
He's going to get a little bit of traffic as he comes through to the last portion of the track, but it might not be too bad. 28.5 in the middle sector. He still hasn't done his own best sector 2, but he still could improve here. Philippe Nazier on a quick one.
He's backed off. He's backed off. He's put the pit lane. Yeah. So
he's got half a second on the field, Jeremy, with 3.5 minutes to go. He might have thought he's done enough. Philippe Nazier looking to get onto the front row for Cadillac, and the 31 has down at turn 1.
Second place for Mazda.
Where's that come from? And he's now just 1:10. No, Nazier has come through. I thought Philippe was looking at a good one.
Yes.
So now the Acuras are 1st and 4th, with Castro-Neves still out there, with Montoya in the pit lane. His lead now cut from 4/10 to under 2/10, and his 2 major competitors still out there. And Tignal with another decent lap going here. Nazier off the pace by 3 or 4 tenths. But Tignal's fast in sector 2 and 3. Van der Zande brings the number 10 Cadillac up into 5th position with a 13.6.
He's been flying underneath the radar a little bit.
He has, yeah.
That's the car that's been the car to beat here for the last 3 years. That Konica Minolta team have been in victory lane here at Long Beach. Not with Renger at the wheel of it, but he's shown well here in the past as well. The 5th position now for car number 10.
It's another good lap from Harry Tinknell. Harry Tinknell might be back on the front row here. He's got a 13.1. Does he get into the 12s? If he does, he's going to be challenging Juan Montoya. Still 2 minutes to go. Across the line for Tinknell. Doesn't improve. 1.930, 1.95. Philippe Nazier, he'll come through in a second, but he's not going to improve on the 13.1 that he's got. But Tinknell's got time for 2 more laps if the Continental tyres can give him the performance he desires.
Van der Zande's improving again. Personal best in sectors 1 and 2. I don't think he's going to be enough for the front row, but he's currently in 5th position, the car number 10.
I love the way that the different cars are using the Continental tyres through this 15-minute session completely differently.
4th place for Renger Van der Zande, ahead then of Helio Castro-Neves.
And Castro-Neves has just lost a lap as well for a trackside violation. Nazier going well. Van der Zande's lost a lap as well for a trackside. Philippe Nazier is on for pole position here. He's challenging Montoya, needs to find just under 2/10, and he's matched the first sector of Montoya. Needs to do a good lap. He's up, not bad in sector 2.
No, I don't. Well,
he's got to have a clean sector 3. He only needs to find a couple of tenths. Where is Nazier? Here he comes in the 31 car. Sprint to the line now. He will get another lap after this one.
What's Castro-Neves going to put together here as well? Has he got something left in at number 7?
Extraordinary stuff. No, it was the middle sector that knocked him out, wasn't it? But here comes Nazier again, and he will. Yeah, Castro-Neves was really slow in the final sector.
Yeah, he was going fast up until that final portion of the lap. This is great stuff. Joao Barbosa.
Oh, Tinknell.
Personal best in sections 1 and 3, but not the middle one for Joao Barbosa, so he doesn't improve. He's 6th position, that's kind of a fine.
Now, Felipe Nasir has Helio Castro Neves ahead of him. Castro Neves' teammate is on provisional pole position at the moment. Don't think there'll be any funny business here, but this is the last lap for these guys. Checkered flag coming out in 10 seconds. Might get a bit of a draft down the backstraight, and that's really, really fair driving from Castro Neves. He must have known that he wasn't up on the timing, and he pulls out of the way of the 31 car. Nasir, though, well, I tell you what, he's not a million miles off. He's got to get a good run through the final corner. I don't think he hooked it up there. Who's quick here? Harry Tinknell does not improve. Here's Nasir. He comes to the checkered flag, sprints across the line. We wait for the timing to update. Another 13.1. That's 3 or 4 at least. 13 ones for Felipe Nasir. And it's going to be pole position for Juan Montoya. But I tell you what, Jeremy, he'll have been sweating just a little bit more than he thought. When he parked the car, he had 4.5 tenths. He's ended up with 1.8 tenths, just under 2 tenths. He's looking up to his team. Thumbs up. Tell me, am I pole? Am I pole? Somebody tell me. Juan, your pole position. Roger Penske up on the booth. And now he will drive to the opposite end of pit lane. A 1:12.922 new qualifying lap record for Juan Montoya, and the first pole position for the new Acura, the new Penske Acura in the prototype division of the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship.
Yeah, tremendous. And Acura, Cadillac on the front row, Mazda right there in third on the grid as well, just 0.2 of a second out of the pole position for Harry Tinknell, the Englishman, in car number 55. And then the second of the Acuras, Helio Castro Neves. He has to make do with fourth place, having set the pace earlier in the session. And then 2 more Cadillacs will share row 3. That's Joao Barbosa in car number 5 and Renger van der Zande in car number 10. Justin Nunez virtually matched his best lap on the final time around, but he's got to make do with 7th place in car number 77, the second of the Mazdas. And the best of the Nissans, surprisingly, is Scott Sharp in car number 2, down in 8th place.
And Juan Montoya, despite putting in on pole position, did the fewest laps of everybody out there. Yeah. So he got the best of his Continental tyres early and parked it. And that's very interesting because he's got to start on those tyres for the race tomorrow.
Further in the cap here for the number 52 team, the AFS PR1 Matheson Motorsport team. Gustavo Jacquemin, best of the global P2 cars at 1:14.6 in car number 52. That is a good effort.
Right, the pole man, Juan Pablo Montoya, is now rolling down the pit lane. He's been told that he's confirmed on pole position, and Shea Adam will be waiting for him. He pulls up in front of the photographers. There'll be the obligatory photographs taken as Juan extricates himself gracefully from the car. Remembered to unplug his helmet communication. Off come the gloves, helmet and hands device will be next.
This is going to be a happy chappie.
Only 8 laps done. He's worked hard. The sweat on the brow of Juan Pablo Montoya, and Shea Adam has this Continental Tire pit lane report for our pole sitter for the 3rd round of the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. It's the Bubba Burger Sports Car Grand Prix of Long Beach, and the first pole position for the new Penske Acura belongs to Juan Montoya.
He looks pretty stunned, John. He got out of the car, took his helmet off, and he was looking for some sort of direction, because this is new for Juan, and it's been a long time since his last pole position, which came in the IndyCar series, of course, just down the paddock, the other side. But for Juan Montoya, being at the front at the Grand Prix of Long Beach is no stranger. In 1999, the year he went on to win the championship, he won this race. So the perfect way to start. And it actually was Tony Kanaan who was on pole for that one, so he's doing it a little bit better, just finishing with his pole award photos. Juan, wow, that's the way to do it. You did it in the fewest amount of laps, and you got the pole position. Congratulations.
Thank you. I thought it was good. You know, last run before the practice, we noticed that we could bring the tires up to temperature pretty quick, and I felt I could get a good lap, and I put like 3 or 4 laps together. I think we were about 3 laps together. I could get you know, I found places where I could go quicker, and I did everything else the same. And I did that like 3 laps in a row, and I just kept getting quicker, so it was pretty good.
Is having your daughter here a little bit of an extra good luck charm for you, daddy-daughter weekend?
Well, I don't know, the first time we do it by ourselves, so it's pretty cool that she's here. I do a lot with Sebastian with all his racing in Europe, so it was nice to bring her along as well.
It certainly works out well for you, at least for now, but what's the plan for the race?
I think from there, you know, you just got to see what happens, you know, have a good start and manage it. You know, you really got to manage the race and see what happens. But honestly, I think, you know, Acura and Team Penske has done an amazing job. This car is, honestly, it's the car that reminds me most about driving a Formula 1 car. The balance and how you can hustle the hell out of it, it's fun.
Shea Adam with our pole sitter down at the very far end of the pit lane, Juan Montoya, likening the Acura DPI to a Formula 1 car. It's so chuckable, it's so well balanced, extraordinary stuff. Huge smile from Juan Montoya, pole position for tomorrow's race.
It's great to see the enthusiasm back for Juan Pablo Montoya. I mean, he's enjoying his racing now as much as he has in his entire career. Just remember bumping into him last year at Petit Le Mans, and I was stunned how effusive he was in his praise for the car, for the team. No, it's praise the team, of course, it's Team Penske, but he just loves driving these cars, and he loves every minute of it, and you can see it there. Tremendous to see Juan Pablo Montoya on the pole. Hugely accomplished driver and loving every minute of it. Good to see.
Congratulations to Chip Ganassi, and the 66 Ford driven by Joey Hand takes a new pole record, and the top position in GTLM, a 1:16.8. Ganassi and Penske on pole, but you knew where I was going with that, didn't you? Ganassi and Ganassi and Penske on pole position for the 2 classes in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship for the 3rd round of the 2018 season, the BUBBA Burger Grand Prix on the streets of Long Beach. We are certainly in a golden era of sports car racing. No morning warm-up, so the next time we see these cars and we talk to you will be in our Michelin countdown to green before our 100-minute race tomorrow. Check out your local time zone. The green flag is just after 1 o'clock here Pacific time. We'll be on air for the countdown to green before that. Thanks to Shea Adam for her Continental Time pit lane reports, and Jeremy Shaw here alongside me, John Hindhaugh, in the IMSA broadcast booth, and to Tim Brown, technical producer over in London. Sound and vision brought seamlessly together by IMSA TV and radio. We'll see you for the 100-minute dash around the streets of Long Beach tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.